I mean, that's wrong, man. I mean, that's just like torturing someone. I mean, going in there and hurting someone is just not fair on Davis.
Jake Paul, Tank Davis.
I got Tanner. Fine.
Size don't matter?
Hell no.
And people, it's funny how now they're saying size matters, Jake is big. When for so long it's been Tank would kill Jake Paul. Now you get to see if that's real.
Boxing experts widely predict that Gervonta Davis will defeat Jake Paul. Many believe that Davis's experience and skill give him a decisive edge, with expectations of a dominant performance. Paulie Malignaggi highlighted that despite Jake Paul's size advantage, Davis's experience and technical ability have always set him apart. He emphasized that Davis's legendary career, built on years of dominance, has greatly contributed to boxing's growth. Malignaggi reminded fans not to overlook Davis's legacy, as his achievements continue to define the sport at the highest level.
I think Davis is more to lose because he's the bona fide world champion. I don't care if he's much smaller. I think Jake Paul has sort of plateaued as far as where his boxing is concerned. It's rather low level. He's big, he's physical, he's strong, he can hit. So there is that risk. Davis, at lightweight, you're in a moment where it's too physical for you. You can clinch. Against the heavyweight, where you clinching? You ain't getting out of that corner just clinching anymore if you run out of space. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. But Davis, listen, there's a lot of talking points that I'm sure we'll get into when this gets closer to the fight. Davis can still punch at lightweight. Can he drop a heavyweight? There's a lot to gain there, right? If Davis knocks...
The answer is yes.
If Davis drops Jake on his ass, as much as Davis is the one with more to lose, it's still a highlight moment.
A visual that will stay forever.
Yeah. But if you get dropped, even if you're smaller, you're still a world champion in multiple weight classes. If you get dropped, what's the look? What's the feel? On the inside, as boxers, me and Chris Aldrey, the champ, even you, Jimmy, you have fight experience, so we know that the risk is a big guy that big hits you. You're probably going down if you're a small guy, if he hits you clean. So we know the risk, but how does it look to the public eye who don't understand that? You know what I mean? The public. So there is a lot to lose, though. There's a bit to gain. I wouldn't necessarily have an issue with this had Davis's career arc been one that benefited boxing. Davis was manufactured and put into a position where he's supposed to benefit boxing, and I don't think he has. I think he's hurt boxing. So by giving him this reward, that's my problem. Why are we watching this? Why don't you make him earn his spot that he still hasn't earned, mind you?
Nisa Bidarian, co-founder of Most Valuable Promotions and a key figure in Jake Paul's boxing journey, has spoken strongly ahead of the highly anticipated matchup. She stated that the size advantage Jake Paul may have does not matter when facing a skilled fighter like Davis. Bidarian further explained that this fight was not impulsive. It had been in the works since Jake Paul's planned bout with Canelo Alvarez was called off. Her comments revealed that both camps have been negotiating big matchups, strategically choosing moments that blend spectacle with legacy. While critics argue that Paul's size could overwhelm a smaller opponent, Bidarian is confident that Davis's skill, speed, and power at the highest level will prevail.
I gotta ask you about the elephant in the room. What weight, Nikisa?
Level.
I gotta ask you about the elephant in the room. What weight, Nikisa? What weight could... I gotta ask you about the elephant in the room. What weight, Nikisa? What weight could they possibly be fighting at? The news broke, Jake and Tank are gonna happen November 14th.
Whatever weight they want, man, they're talking about it, and whatever it is gonna be a definitive outcome. People can talk about pro, exhibition. We're gonna make sure this is as real as it's real.
Why was it, just out of curiosity, why is it not a professional bout and why is it an exhibition? Because I'm sure Jake would have taken the professional bout.
Nothing's been communicated as yet in terms of what it is, right? Similar to, if you remember, with Paul Tyson, when we announced it, we didn't have the weight, we didn't have the rules, particularly in terms of the number of rounds, the minutes, the gloves. It's going to be the same thing here.
Gotcha. Can you just offer us any insight as to how these negotiations went? The reason I ask is because I remember back in March, I was at Tank's fight. And after his fight and his press conference, he was asked, next opponent. He said, well, my next opponent might have been in my locker room tonight. And people asked him, was it Jake? He made reference, he made allusion to. Has this been an ongoing thing? And has it ever, been at a point where it wasn't going to happen and came back? Or was this always the plan?
Always been the plan for Jake to fight Tank once Canelo didn't happen. And to Tank's credit, he's a real bad dude. And he's been calling out Jake for 3 years. And people, it's funny how now they're saying size matters, Jake is big. when for so long it's been Tank would kill Jake Paul. Now you get to see if that's real. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Gotcha. Knockout?
One of them.
The elephant in the room. What do you know about how this came to be? And then if you can, do you have any idea on what the weight is going to be between Jake Paul and Tank Davis, which was just announced?
Well, considering that I'm one of the guys on the team, you know, we always like to allow everyone in front to be able to release the information as they please.
Veteran trainer Jeff Mayweather takes a different stance, backing Jake Paul's chances. He believes that at this particular weight, Paul holds the advantage. Having fought most of his professional bouts at cruiserweight, Paul naturally carries more size, reach, and power. Meanwhile, Davis is moving up significantly to face Paul, raising questions about how his frame will handle the jump. Mayweather's prediction sparks an important debate. While Davis is regarded as one of the most explosive and skilled fighters, the weight difference could influence the fight's outcome.
You have weight classes for a reason. And I mean, even as good as Tank is.
It'd be similar to Logan and Floyd, right? If it's an exhibition.
Well,
I mean, the weight differences.
The weight difference is way more. Jake is over 200 pounds.
Logan was around 200 pounds.
Yeah, but
who wins the fight, man? We ain't talking. Who wins if they have it? Come on now, answer the question.
I mean, to be honest, I would think Jake know how to fight a little bit. I think he should win. You beating a man that's 135 pounds, he should be able to win.
Gervonta Davis has actively promoted this matchup by posting the official promotional video on Instagram. Fans initially expected a rematch against Lamont Roach to further cement Davis's legacy, but Davis leaned into the spectacle of fighting Jake Paul on a global stage. By sharing the promo, Davis reminded everyone that boxing isn't just about legacy fights, it's also about entertainment, marketability, and expanding the sports audience. While purists may have hoped for the Lamont rematch, Davis made it clear that he values the massive attention and opportunity this fight presents, positioning it as one of the year's biggest events.
They're trying to fight they were trying or still trying to find a common medium, which is 175, so the fight can officially be sanctioned as a real boxing match. But there's no boxing commission that will sanction it because the weight is just too far apart. And Jake Paul has proven to be a true boxer now, okay? So it's considered an exhibition, which what I'm being told is going to be 10 2-minute rounds. But they wanted Jake Paul to make 175 so this can be a real boxing match and count against their record and box rep. But the fans are demanding to see him fight Lamont Roach. As I told you guys, Tank told you that he wasn't fighting Lamont Roach in the rematch. He had other plans, which is Jake Paul. He told you that in the post-fight press conference after the Lamont Roach fight, right? So with that said, that fell through at the time, and he revisited and entertained the idea of fighting Lamont Roach in a rematch. But he never signed the contract. They were supposed to fight June 21st. He never signed the contract. Then they were supposed to fight August 16th. He never signed the contract. And then he had the arrest. He had to get bailed out, so on and so forth. With that said, now he's broken silence. He resurfaced on social media because he went ghost on social media. And he put up this promo, and the fans are responding in a negative way. And he's responding in a negative way. He's responding right back with the same energy. And he's telling the fans, because the fans are saying, hey, the money that you reportedly making, which is being said that he's going to make $40 million for this fight, according to multiple sources and Eddie Hearn and a few other people, he's supposed to make guaranteed purse of $40 million.
Matchroom's Frank Smith revealed that Davis was originally scheduled to face Lamont Roach in a rematch, which many saw as a chance to bolster his legacy. However, once the opportunity to fight Jake Paul arose, plans shifted significantly. Smith noted that the financial rewards and international exposure associated with Paul were too significant to ignore. This decision highlights the current landscape of boxing, where fighters often balance sporting merit with lucrative opportunities. For Davis, choosing Paul is not just a business decision, it's a way to reach a broader global audience, transcending traditional boxing matchups. While some may view this as a departure from legacy-defining fights, it reflects the shifting priorities in modern boxing, where high-profile crossover bouts generate massive pay-per-view numbers.
And let's say you take money out of the equation, which is obviously the main factor here, but like he's in a division where he's got killers all in his division. You know, Shakur, Haney, who's 147. You know, you look at T.O., for example, Keyshawn, and then you choose to fight someone like Paul. Surely that's a concern when you do look at it like that.
Yeah, but again, it's the well-being. If you can get a huge amount of money to fight someone who's never boxed really before, you're going to do it. You know, Floyd Mayweather boxed Logan Paul with a huge weight disparity.
He was done by then.
I know.
He was done. Like, this is an active world champion.
But it's the well-being.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. Now, when it comes down to it, it's just like Conor McGregor fighting Floyd Mayweather. Two completely different sports. Was the biggest pay-per-view in recent times, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Maybe if ever.
Those are like different comparisons, though, if you think about it. Do you not like...
Yeah, but the sport's in a wild place, isn't it? That's just, like, I'm just like the reality of where we are, you know. And I can't really say much when we're talking about Jake Paul fighting Anthony Joshua at the same time.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think Tank should get stripped of his title?
Yeah, I think anyone who, just in general, doesn't defend their title to do something else should get stripped because it shouldn't hold the belts up. You know, in any, like, I think that should be the reality in anything. You know, if you're not going to defend your belts or you're not defending, sometimes there's the rules, obviously, if you fight for a belt at a higher weight, you can retain the belt until there. But if you're not, don't have intention of defending the belts, you shouldn't hold the belts up. People should get the opportunity to fight for them.
What happened with the failed negotiations between AJ and Jake Paul?
I think anything's still possible. That was always discussed for next year. You know, this fight's November, early part of next year. AJ's in a great place because if anyone in the heavyweight division wants to make huge money, Anthony Joshua is the man they have to get in there with, you know.
An analyst addressed the criticism directed at Davis for choosing to fight Jake Paul. He argued that fans often seek reasons to criticize fighters rather than appreciate their careers. Davis has built a reputation over years of discipline, talent, and highlight reel knockouts. The analyst emphasized that if Davis now wants to cash in on a spectacle fight, there is nothing wrong with that. This perspective highlights growing frustration within the boxing community. Many fighters dedicate their lives to the sport but receive little recognition compared to crossover stars like Paul, who are sometimes accused of bypassing traditional paths. Fighting Paul offers Davis a career-high payday and an opportunity to silence doubters questioning his ability to shine under the biggest spotlight.